Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Last Call, A's post game. Guys, I don't really know what much to say after tonight's game. I don't think any of us really is too happy of what went on. That goes without saying, right? I think I've said that opening just about every single time when it has come to the A's. I tell you guys, the cruelest losses in baseball aren't the blowouts. They're ones that leave you replaying every missed opportunity long after the final out. The A's had this game in their hands more than once. They got bombs from Jonah Heim, Lawrence Butler. Lawrence Butler led off the ninth with a double off the wall, inches from being a home run. Instead, too many strikeouts, too many runners left on base, and one mistake in the 10th turned out what could have been a series-changing win into a gut punch 4-2 defeat. How many times have I said gut punch this year? Tonight on Last Call, we are breaking down how this one got away, the players who deserved a better outcome, and why these are exactly the kind of games a young team has to learn to finish. I tell you guys, we keep on talking about how young this team is. They're not going to be young anymore. I want to talk a little bit later about David Forst and his appearance on A's Cast today. What he said kind of meant something. To me, at least. Nick Kurtz, I haven't had any reports as of yet on his injury. If you guys have, let me know. What's up, Justin? Hey, Booney. That was a great game coming from a Red Sox fan. I thought we would have lost. Good luck in the series finale. Yeah, I mean, I think, Justin, as far as the game goes and how competitive, I thought it was a competitive game. I don't think you and I could sit here and say it was an executed game. I mean, Red Sox were just as bad with runners in scoring position. 3 for 12. A's were 0 for 9. I thought Sandoval was great. I thought Jacob Lopez fought. I think obviously the opportunity was just basically Lopez was Suarez in the 10th, and Butler leading off the 9th with the double and not being able to score. Forearm contusion for Kurtz. That's not bad. So forearm contusion, we're looking at a deep bruise. He's going to miss time. That's for sure. I think, I'm assuming, Jason, there's going to be a stint on the IL. I don't think clean x-rays. That's good. Like I said, I think it's going to be a stint on the IL with a forearm contusion, basically a deep, deep, deep bruise. Kobe, Butler leaking on A's Cast. I want to talk about that a little bit, and it shows you what a joke A's Cast is. And clip this, send it. I don't care. For Townsy to be like, hey, I feel after talking to Lawrence Butler, things have changed. It's the leadership we need. Hearing Lawrence Butler talk the way he did on A's Cast, I thought was a joke. Listen, I have not been a law dog guy this year. I've made that clear. I think he's selfish. I think he's a cancer. I wish he wasn't on this team. He needs to grow up. That being said, listen, last year, going into 2025, I said Lawrence Butler would get MVP votes. To tell you how things have changed with me. He fooled me at 2024. I thought he turned around in the second half of 2024 and grew up. In 2025, he comes out talking about making an all-star appearance in Atlanta. Talking about Nick Kurtz playing his first major league game in a minor league ballpark. I think Lawrence Butler's a cancer. I think the first thing Lawrence Butler should start worrying about is not posting on social media during games. How about you start with that, Law? He had a hell of a game tonight. He misplayed the ball in right field. I thought he came with some energy. I don't understand. One thing I did not understand was that Lawrence Butler in the what inning was that? I got to look this up. I want to say in the 5th. It was a 2-out walk. No, that was in the in the 2nd. Sorry, it was earlier. 2-out walk. I don't get why Butler wasn't stealing there. I don't get what 2-out walk. Wilson's at the plate. Perfect steal opportunity. You got your guy up there. You got a guy at first you think's athletic. Listen. Butler had a great game. I think Butler to be calling team meetings, I think it's a joke. I can only imagine that he must have zero respect from his teammates. And I could be 100% wrong. I don't know that for sure at all. But I am saying that a guy that's posting on social media during games that's all about Lawrence Butler can't. And for Townsy to sit there and say, hey, Lawrence Butler, I feel real good about him at this team. Bullshit. F you. Tyler Soderstrom. Oh for 5, 4 strikeouts. Yeah. How about Tommy White and Tyler Soderstrom, who had this on their big go card? 0 for 10 with 8 Ks? I understand Ultra forearm contusion. I'm assuming the x-rays are clean. If it's a forearm contusion, you're basically looking at a deep bruise. Now, I'm just getting that from Jason here on the chat. I don't know any more than that. Okay. So I haven't heard any official word on Kurtz. I agree with you there. Kurtz might as well take the year off. Yes. But that was the same with Meade when they said contusion. Yeah, you're right. You're right, Justin. I didn't even think about that. They did say that about Meade, right? The Red Sox have been a little crazy this year with their injuries and their staff and their reporting to the public, haven't they? If catcher Jake Rogers, who was offered by Detroit, makes it on the A's and waited, should be an obvious claim. You would think. I know Sandoval has good slide step to the plate. Threw out Bolte trying to steal earlier in that 5th inning. Butler even being slower and a dead man. I hear you, Kobe, but what are we gonna? What's Butler for though? What is Butler for? Are you telling me Butler's just gonna be that middle of the order power bat? What made Butler special and why Butler got signed to that extension was that athleticism, was the ability to steal, was the ability to hit for power. I'm not saying he was a, 30-30 guy. Last year talked to me, I thought he was. But you are thinking like a 20-20 guy. I mean, now he's like a single guy, like an 8-8 guy maybe. I don't even think he could be like a I don't even think he's like a 10-10 guy. He's like an 8-8 guy, maybe. So that's the whole thing that you were expecting from Lawrence Butler is like, okay, you're going to get some athleticism from. You're going to get a guy that's going to be able to be aggressive on the pass. Stretch doubles into triples, singles into doubles. Unacceptable, Rance. Chapman striking out Wilson and McNeil in the 9th was game. Yeah, sure was. Yeah, we haven't had Crochet since May. Yeah, and you guys been hot, man. You guys did the same thing last year too. Butler was that athletic guy, but not this year. He looks slow and unmotivated. Well, I guess he called that player meeting tonight, Cobe, so maybe he's into it. He called the player meeting with 50 games left in the season as the team's 19 games out, just as the kid's starting to have good at-bats. Good for you, Law Dog. You're starting to have good at-bats. You're playing well, and then you call the player meeting. That a boy. Players must have been real motivated for that. You're a clown. You are a clown, Butler. A clown. Grow up, dog. Grow up. Grow the F up, man. You're hitting 204. You're showboating a ball in the ninth. You could have easily stretched to a triple. Maybe. It's crazy I'm being hard on Law. I know. He was 2 for 3. He had a bomb. He actually had a hell of a ball game. And I'm all over him. A little unfair, considering what Tommy White and Tyler Soderstrom did. A little unfair. I get it. But I tell you guys, I saw that interview on A's Cast before the game, and I was just... I wish that interview never took place. I was hot. So Butler could have hit 5 home runs tonight, and I was going to be all over him. Soderstrom's at bats, he gets into that stage where it gets late. He watches pitches. At bats aren't competitive. Tommy White was a disappointment. Tommy White looked like he wasn't ready to be in that spot today. Dropped the ball. Easy pop-up at third. I mean, easy. Not a difficult one at all. He struck out 4 times, something he hasn't done all year. I'm not really concerned about the 0 for 5, but his at-bats weren't real competitive. Butler talking about accountability at a team meeting is comically bad. Look in the mirror. I don't know what was worse, that or Townsy backing it up in A's Cast and says he feels there's a different feel. Come on, Homer Townsy. I've been down on those guys this year. I've been down on all of them. The fact this clown is still in the roster is symptomatic of whether they're the worst team in the game. I can't say anything, guys. When he signed the extension, I was excited. I thought Butler was going to be that leadoff guy. I thought he was going to be the guy. I didn't expect him to gain 30 pounds of just fat. The guy's a scrub, dude. He is my least favorite A's player of all time. He had a big game tonight. I know. He was great. His at-bats as of late have looked great. He is getting better. He is playing better. All that stuff true. I think Lawrence as a Butler is a guy just good enough to get you beat. Just good enough to get you beat. Jacob Lopez, 5 1/3, 7 hits, 2 runs, 8 Ks. He's looking a little bit of that guy we saw last year. I don't got a whole lot tonight, guys. I tell you. The guy, I don't know why I'm disappointed. We're 45 and 63. I don't know why I'm disappointed. It would have just been nice to string together a couple wins. That's all. And Butler's hitting lefties good. David Forrest on A's Cast. It doesn't sound like they're going to make many moves, guys. It seems like he's pretty pat in this, literally not making any moves. Said his phone hasn't been ringing. Said if any moves gets made, it's going to be at the last second. Now, hey, I don't know exactly how truthful he's being or what if he's has that poker face or whatever. Maybe it's a good thing Force doesn't make any trades. He's not very good at it. Fuck, man. I don't know what was going on that one. The obvious ball that wasn't shot. I don't know what White was doing there. I mean, you got to think worst case scenario, that was borderline, no? You got to think that was borderline. I mean, it was clearly out of the zone. Was he not aware they had a challenge? The issue with the injuries is the front office going to make excuses. That's the whole thing. I was talking about that earlier, little cat. And if you heard from Rob from All on Green, he said the same thing on the Faithful Few last night. Going to make excuses to not do anything in the offseason after the team was bad when healthy. Yeah. You're right. That's going to be an out. Were injuries part of the problem this year? Yes. Were they the core of the problem? No. You look at our record, 45-63. You say everybody stays healthy. I mean, what are we at? Maybe 51-57? Better, but not. It wasn't. The injuries were a part of the year, for sure. For sure. But they weren't it. D71, appreciate the passion. Pretty disappointing lost stretch for sure. Appreciate you, DJ. Thank you, man. They weren't it. Yeah, injuries was one. I think pitching was above the injuries. Ultra, they were dog log before the rest of the injuries. You can hear Relief in Kotze's voice every time he announces another injury, another excuse. Yeah, you're right, Ultra. You're right, man. So I'm going to take 2 minutes here, guys. I'm going to play you a clip from the Faithful Few. They had their new episodes drop today. Take a look at it. I'll see you in 2 minutes.
And then the Mike Fiers no-hitter, us sustained that entire night through the light outage situation and just sticking it out with the core bleacher guys. What a great memory. I have a video of the last out there, and Nick is just right in front of me, just pumping his fist. Yeah, man. It was, dude, that was one for the ages for sure. And Mike Fiers, not a great person, but I'm a nostalgic guy. There's nothing better than baseball and sex. Bull Durham, 1-1. Crash Davis, Nuke Lelouch, dude. Just what are we gonna get Millie and for their wedding gift? That mound visit is one of the best scenes in all of baseball movie history, and I love Bull Durham. I can rewatch that movie over and over and over and still always.
I'm gonna do it. Moneyball. Just the nostalgia with it for just being Ace fans and everything in between. It just shows a lot of our how we grew up and just the collie and Scotty had a bird.
I think I quote Moneyball twice.
I'm gonna go with the Bad News Bears with Mr. Thornton.
So the new one, the Billy Bob Thornton one.
Yeah, the new one.
Okay,
I like just.
But you get all Bears. You get all the Bad News Bears.
Okay. Bears.
There's a couple of like when they go to Japan, that one sucks.
Yeah, no, I ain't talking about that one. No.
No, the one with Billy Bob Thornton. I think Billy Bob Thornton's the perfect
place to be a community, to talk about all your feelings, to talk about the excitement of the team, and that's where the Faithful Few podcast can lend a helping hand. So I wish you luck through this. It's not easy when you lose a team, something that's near and dear to your heart, and there's conflicting thoughts and feelings and emotions. There's ups, there's downs. Do we root for them? Do we feel good? Do we want them to suck? Wherever you are, you're allowed to be. And that's why podcasts work. Go see my friends at the Faithful Few podcast, hang out with them. And I will tell you this about the A's. They're a fun team to watch. They just need...
Faithful Few, guys. Check out their episodes. Dropped today. Kobe, Nick, Rob guest on. They were awesome. They had a little baseball movie draft show. It was awesome. I think I'd rather watch that than watch the A's. You'd want to string together some wins, right? I mean, just to string together some wins. Yeah, it was going through my mind. I was like, okay, Texas lost. A's could win. They'll be 9 out. Fuck, man. I'm a freaking delusional fuck. I'll tell you that. I'm fucking delusional. It's like 9, maybe beat Boston tomorrow, sweep Detroit, get on a magical run. Fuck. That magical run was dead once fucking 4 decided to call a team meeting. A 4. Worry about not posting on social media during games. We'll start there. I'll start rooting for you when you start that. When you come out and say, hey, I shouldn't be posting on social media during games. I'm sorry. I'll start being a fan again then. I'll start believing in your team meetings then. Until then, it is what it is. It is what it is. Forrest ain't making any moves either. Not a move. Tommy White's not ready. That's presumptuous, guys. That's presumptuous. He's been great. First time in the 3-hole. I tell you this much, guys. If they hold on to Jonah Heim, I'm going to lose my mind. Not because I don't like Jonah Heim, just because the A's will not re-sign Jonah Heim when he becomes a free agent. And we don't need 2 expensive catchers next year if they do re-sign him by a miracle. Thanks for great clip, Booney. I love you. Hey, Kobe, you guys are crushing it. Crushing it. Vegas, should we left Lopez in the game to get 2 more outs in the 6th? You know, he was at 97 pitches. At the time, and I always make this decision, I would have left him in. I like the pitchers fighting, but I can't really sit there and say, hey, Kotsay taking him out is a bad decision. You got what, Younger coming in? It just seems like no matter what decision Kotsay's made, and also you got to put a lot of blame on White. White dropped a real easy one there. No matter what decision Kotsay's made, whether he's taken a guy out early or stretched him, it's been the wrong decision. I don't think I would have done much better than the decisions Kotsay's had. They've been a lot of 50-50 decisions. Like I said, guys, I don't know why I'm upset and angry this much. It's just, you know, I think obviously how it ended is frustrating. Kurtz, I don't know if you guys have heard anything more, if it's still the contusion. God damn, guys, it's tired. I'm tired, man. You look at the years. I mean, 2021, they won 86 games. That was a good year. They stretched it. They were in it down the stretch. They didn't get it done. 22, was it 110? 100 thoughts, 23. I think the highlights when you're looking at 22 to 20 whatever, 4 is Estuary re-stolen bases. Yay. We lose 93 and 24. 100, 110, 93. What did we lose last year? 87? I mean, we're looking at another 90 loss year this year. I get the injuries have been rough. It has. But guys, it's crazy, man. It's crazy when you see a guy like Austin Wynns excel in Texas, and you see a guy like JJ Bleday excel in Cincinnati. I don't even talk about the other ones. It makes you question this organization's, and like I said, I've talked about it for a long time, the culture. I've talked about that for a long, long time. I do think the A's have young stars. I think the future is bright. If you don't have the leadership in place, talent only can take you so far. I don't think the A's have the leadership in place. I think when you have a guy like Lawrence Butler part of your team, I don't think you can win unless he cleans it up, unless people call him out, unless people hold him accountable. Until that happens. Am I being unfair to Four or Lawrence Butler? No, I'm not. I'm right on with it. But could you easily put other people in that same type of category? Maybe. Probably. I think there's a reason why when they talked about Shea turning down an extension with the A's, he doesn't want to be here. He's not going to be in an A's uniform. I think the front office needs to look at themselves in the mirror. I really do. I think it's a bad leadership group. I don't think Kurtz is going to re-sign with this organization. We still have him under team control for a good long amount of time, so things can definitely change there. That's for sure. It's a bad organization, guys. It's a bad organization. Unfortunately, they're the only ones that don't know it. And until they figure it out, I don't know. Until you have your beat writers like Martin Gallegos stop worrying about being best friends with the players and calling it out as he sees it, they're never going to be able to hold each other accountable because nothing's out there. Can the team control years change with the new CBA? I don't think so, Ultra. I think afterwards, after contracts, as far as the current contract core, that's not going to change. I could be wrong. Okay. I'm just referring kind of back to the past CBAs. So once you're kind of grandfathered into that deal, right? Once that's your deal, that's your deal. Now, don't quote me on that. But I believe that's how it's going to work. I could be wrong. And every CBA is different. Negotiations could work or say, hey, this is this is that. But they've already kind of, Well, they're not really under. They're only under year-to-year contracts. So yeah, it's essentially that could change. I don't think it's going to change much. Who knows? Who knows? Tomorrow. Yeah, the crazy part is they do have fun. It's a fun team when you really look at it. When you look around, when you work your way around the diamond at Shea, at catcher, and Kurtz at short. Excuse me, I'm getting tired. Kurtz at first. You got JKG at second. You got Wilson at short. Tommy White maybe at third. You got Soderstrom in left. You got, potentially a Zach Geloff in center. You got Drew Burris. Who knows where he's going to be? You got, 4, and Bolte maybe platooning in right. It's too early to quit on Bolte. I know he's been struggling a little bit. He's played 50 games. Rooker DH. There is offensively it is exciting. And even on the pitching side, guys, Gage jumped out. I think Gid's going to be awesome. I like what Perkins gave. I just like to string together some wins. The A's are undecided tomorrow. I don't know what that means. Last time they were undecided, they went with that piggyback with Mason Barnett and Brady Basso. Basso wasn't bad tonight. I don't got much else, guys. I really don't, man. I'm sorry. I'm tired. I'm frustrated. It's I tell you what the frustrating part, guys, isn't you live with the players being the players. You expect the leadership group to step up more. I didn't expect that from Towney today. I was disappointed in Towney, that's for sure. For him to come do that interview with Lawrence Butler and to have the audacity to say he has a different feel, a different vibe. He feels that Butler's growing up. It's just, you could see the bullshit coming out of him. Clip that for him. That was disappointing. Because how can you really say that when, like I said, Lawrence Butler, when things are going bad, he pouts. He's posting on social media during games. And the guy had a great game tonight. I shouldn't be all over him. But that interview today was one of the worst interviews I've seen all year. It just had the like, hey, we're going to bullshit you for the next 10 minutes and you better buy into it. It's like, come on, dude. I've been watching you guys for freaking all my life. Stop. Anyway, guys, you guys take care. I'll see you.